All right, Solar Soul said on the previous video in the comments, I noticed that he says that hell is non-existence. And he's exactly right. But we're really talking about the hell that is the lake of fire, that is the non-existence. And because so many people just lump it all up, these four designations, okay, because there's really, truly, biblically, four separate locations that people are all lumping up as one hell. And because they do that, that's when I tell them, I'm like, no, hell is not a place where you're sent after judgment by God to be tortured for an eternity. True hell is non-existence. It's exactly right. And as we notice that the Bible says that the only ones that are going to be sent to this lake of fire, which is all-consuming, basically, whoever's not found written in the book of life, meaning they are not found in creation any longer. They are non-existing, and they've done that by their own choice. Who writes them out of the book of life? They do. They write themselves out of the book of life. So we see that it's really this death in hell delivered up the dead that which were in them, and then they are judged. And then we see that those that are found coming from these locations are being allotted to the lake of fire, because they're already being divided as souls by being in allegiance with the fallen. Because, of course, they're doing the rituals, they're praying to them, they're committing the sacrifices. It's easy to tell who they're aligned with. It's easy to tell that they reject the good news, that God is love and mercy and patience and he loves all. It's easy to tell that these souls reject that. Well, they go to the place that is considered death, hell, synonymous with each other, which is the holding place for the fallen. And then, as I said, who writes them out of the book of life? They do by their own choice. When they reject the creator of creation, they're actually rejecting themselves as a part of this creation. They're rejecting the designer of themselves. Therefore, they reject the plan that the designer has for them in eternity. Uh-oh. A lot of people don't realize that. That's what being written out of the book of life, the spiritual book of life. Now, there is a material book of life, and that's the DNA. That's what they focus on. That's what the occult and these fallen believe that this is all about. Now, the highest fallen spirits, oh, they know about the spiritual book of life. You better believe it. But to not scare off any of their would-be followers, they don't tell them about that, and they get them focused only on this material book of life of DNA. Okay, so there's two ways to give a perceptual interpretation that is manifested and will manifest in our reality. We can see this as the book of life of DNA, of how they see it, or we can see the ultimateness of this being that spirit judgment where the spirit books of life are opened. And we found who has made those choices that are recorded within this book of life that is actually the choices that is going to negate their own existence. Because you always have a choice, right? So they either accept eternity or reject it by accepting the designer of this eternity. You can't exist within the creation if you reject the creator of the creation. Only as long as he allows you, and that's what this material life is for. That's what the material lifespan is for, is to really to find these souls that are going to be able to rise above their anger, to be able to rise above their lusts and their urges, to be able to rise above their selfishness and find that spirit that will lift them higher than the material weights and limits and bring you to the truth of the spirit, which is eternal. And all those that find that eternal truth of good and loving and brotherhood towards others can exist in eternity. Those who don't, not so much.